Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here, and it is patch day. I've still been busy working on some other projects, but thought I'd do a video breaking down what we're getting in this new patch. Let's jump right into it. Up first, we're getting one new champion and a champion getting updated. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So the brand new champion we're getting is Mel. Not too surprising, as we're also getting the return of the Arcane event, but here we have her star powers. Let's go ahead and try to zoom up on this a little bit for you. So right here for the first star power, when you kill an enemy with a spell, deal 1 to all enemies and the enemy nexus. This should be a lot of fun, should play very similarly to the Vex 6-star, so cool to get that as just your first star power. Also, this deals damage to the enemy nexus baseline, so that's great. Next up for the 2-star, +1 starting mana. When you play a damaging spell, increase the damage dealt by other copies of it everywhere by 1. So this is going to be very similar to like the Ambessa power, where every time you attack, you're scaling up all the same type of that unit, but here it's just when you're playing a damaging spell, you're permanently increasing the damage of it. So that is going to get some solid scaling for you. You're really going to be wanting to play some of the same spells over and over again. Then down here for the 3-star, when you kill a unit with a spell, deal 2 damage to all enemies in the enemy nexus. So just a doubling of the first one, but that still should be totally fine. This should be a very fun star power. Then for the 4-star, when you play a spell, grant a random ally in hand 1/1. Now this is just for any spell. Now the 3-star is just when you're killing a unit with a spell, and the 2-star is when you're playing a damaging spell. So these all aren't necessarily consistent. Also, one thing to note with the 3-star, this is just when you kill a unit, not an enemy unit. And it also doesn't technically have to be a damaging spell. So you could use some like Shadow Isle spells that just kill your own units, and this should still trigger. So a little bit fun to play around with. Then the 5-star, game start, get a mana gem. And then the 6-star, when you play a spell, create a fleeting copy of it in hand once per spell each round. So this would be nice because you're playing a spell, you get another copy of it. That second copy is now going to be increased. You can play that again, further increasing all the spells again, if it's a damaging spell at least. But this also just works for any spells, not necessarily damaging ones. So overall, I think that should be pretty fun to play around. Taking a look at her starting deck now. We'll try to zoom it up here, even though it's a little bit on the blurry side. But here we have Mel, so 3 cost, 3/3 stat line, Noxus, and P and Z. You have here your spells targeting enemies have overwhelm, so any extra damage is going to go through and hit that nexus. That will be very nice, especially since you're getting that damage increase from the 2-star. Then you have when I'm summoned or allies attack, so great that both of those work there. Create a Radiant Volley in hand. Now that Radiant Volley, you can see right here, this is a little teaser that they put out. So 1 cost, burst speed, deal 3 damage to a unit. Now again, since it's a unit, you could use this on your own units if you wanted, but generally going to be targeting the enemy with this. Also nice that it's just a 1 cost and burst speed. Also the fact you're getting that when you're summoned or when allies attack is very strong, going to give you some extra consideration when you're building Mel, because now you actually have some attack synergy. So getting any free attacks, scout attacks, rally will give you some more of those Radiant Volleys, and every time you cast them, you're permanently increasing and making them strong, so that'll be pretty good. Now your level up is you've played 3 different spells twice, so you do want to play a variety of spells with her. Also, this isn't damaging spells or anything like that. You just have to play 3 different spells 2 times. So while your 2-star is wanting you to play the same spell multiple times, with Mel, you're at least wanting to play 3 different spells. All right, now when she levels, she's going to go to a 4/4. And now, when I'm summoned or allies attack, create 2 Radiant Volleys in hand. So just doubling the amount you're making. But as a 1 cost burst speed spell that's going to be doing more and more damage to the enemy, this will be pretty strong. Taking a look at the rest of the deck though, we have Howling Gale, so deal 2 to a unit, increase my damage by 1 for each other card you've played this round up to 3. So pretty good removal spell. Academy Prodigy, just quick attack, 2 cost. The Ballistic Bot, augment, round start, create a ignition in hand. This will be pretty nice to get another spell you can play every single round. This will be a great way to help level up your Mel. Also, since this ignition is going to be a damaging spell, it's going to be increased by your 2-star, so that's pretty good. And then next up we have Funsmith. All of your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage. Solar Snare, so 3 cost fast, deal 1 to a unit or the enemy nexus, then another, then another. So able to hit 3 targets with this. That'll be pretty good. Also just giving you another damaging spell. That's great. We have Allura, a lot of new cards we're getting from Mel. 3 cost, 3/1, play, create an exact copy of a spell in hand. That will be fantastic for you since you want to be playing the same spell multiple times. Then we have Lest. So 1 cost, 1/1, last breath, refill 2 spell mana. Pretty good, so you can just keep playing spells. And then last up, we have Rebuttal, 5 cost fast, deal damage to an enemy equal to its power. So Mel is going to be pretty crazy. Baseline, you have 3 different removal spells with the Solar Snare, Rebuttal, Howling Gale, and then she is also going to be able to make Radiant Volleys. So you're going to have tons of removal, and that removal is just going to keep scaling up. Also, a lot of new cards here. So overall, looking pretty great so far. Taking a look at her relic, though, we have the Searing Brilliance. Game start, grant a random spell from your deck, an item with -1 cost, and draw 1. It's going to be a little bit easier to play, and every time you play it, you're drawing another card, and then create 4 copies of it in your deck. So whatever spell this chooses, you're getting extra copies of it. I think this is going to be incredible. It's going to be great for Mel, but pretty much any spell-based champion, this is just going to be so good on. And one thing you can do is try to cut any other spells you don't really want. So this is potentially only going to hit 1 or 2 spells for you, especially on other champions. And just being able to get some other spells to be reduced cost and having extra draw, this is going to be incredibly good. If you're wanting to get a celebration bundle, this is definitely one to grab. Next up, though, we have Thresh. So he is a champion that is getting updated this patch. So we have his first 3 stars. These all seem to be the exact same as before, but now we have a new 4-star game start, summon a Warden's Prey. That is the Last Breath 1/1 unit that you have in your deck. We have Mana Flow, and then Dark Passage. When an ally dies, grant allied champions everywhere 1/1. This is going to be absolutely massive, since this is obviously helping your Thresh and you're all about units dying. But then any champions Thresh pulls out will also be massive. This will be a lot of fun. Taking a look at his starting deck, though, seems to all be the exact same as before. And then his relic, we have right here the Soul Lantern, so tough and spell shield. But then attack, if I'm Thresh, so useless on anyone else, but if I'm Thresh, summon a attacking ephemeral copy of a champion in your deck with less power. Now, normally Thresh scales up to be pretty huge, so he should be able to pull out still some very large champions, but this will be very good. Normally with Thresh, you get a big attack in when he levels and pulls out a champion, but then after that, it's not really that good. But here, every single time you're attacking, you're just able to pull out another champion, and then with that tough and spell shield, your Thresh is going to be very hard to get off the board. So I think this is going to be a great one to pick up if you like Thresh. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be that good. Like, tough and spell shield is nice, but normally there's going to be other options. Like, if you really want spell shield, you're normally going to be going for the black shield to give all your units spell shield, not just your champion. If you don't really care about Thresh, I think this is probably a pass, but if you like Thresh, this is going to be fantastic. Now, taking a look at the rest of the patch, so new content, we're getting the Legends of Arcane event back, and apparently we're getting it back permanently. This is massive. I thought this was just going to be for the month, but apparently we're permanently getting it back, so that's going to be really good. We're going to get the Legends of Arcane adventure coming back with new rewards, so that is fantastic. Also, it remembers our progress from the last time, so you're not going to have to slowly go through and unlock all of the different tier of adventures if you've already done that previously. And then a new map layer UI has been updated, include a progress bar showing how many adventure slots have been earned in each map layer. This will just be a nice little improvement. And then another really big upgrade right here. This is essentially saying they're adding the voiceover back, or not back, they're adding brand new voiceover for Warwick, Mbessa, and Fiddlesticks. And then also Warwick and Mbessa now have new level ups other than the generic one. And they're not getting it yet, but they say right here that they're both going to receive new follower cards in a future patch. I'm excited about this one, but also a little bit worried. Hopefully they just take out some of the underperforming cards in each of their decks and don't take out some of the good cards that we really like. They're going to hate for them to take out like used cast salesman for Warwick or the Marauder for Mbessa, but awesome that they've listened to the community and they're trying to add in a lot of these features that we did want when these champions came out. And then we got a couple bug fixes here, as well as a whole long list of everyone that's rotating in and out. Definitely check the patch notes if you are interested in that for PvP. And Pack Powder will be coming into the Emporium as Chosen of the Stars is being swapped out. So that's about it from the patch notes. Overall, very exciting. I think Mel is going to be a lot of fun. Her relic looks incredibly strong. Can't wait to test that out on a whole bunch of other champions. And then I've always liked Thresh, so him getting an update I think will be pretty good. We don't know what we're getting with their constellations. There's a lot of upgrades there that can also really change things, so we'll have to take a look at that later. But overall, I think this is going to be a pretty solid patch. Great that we're getting the Legends of Arcane to be a new permanent addition. It's nice that we no longer just have kind of these dead months in between events as we wait for a new one. So that'll be pretty good. New champions look like a lot of fun, as well as them updating some of those champions that we really wanted to get some voice lines for and some new cards, as well as level up animations. So awesome that they are listening to the community. Now, I'm still not going to be doing daily videos for Path Champions at the moment. If I have time though, I might put out a guide, especially for Mel. We'll see though. But that's all for me for today. I hope you all have a great patch and a great rest of your day. See ya.